Right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for your time. Okay, welcome on board to you guys. Shilim, Sean Fong, Chris Nicole, Fast Consulting, Fast 1, Fast 2, and Fast Ken, Sengeng, Lim, Shafika, and all viewers from our Facebook Live page and also viewers from the YouTube page. Right. Thank you very much for spending your time today. And our topic today is about the extracting a contour mapping from various software. And I'm Akil Bajuri from Acad Systems yang Berhad, and you can contact me at akil@acadsystems.com. Okay. And also welcome to Solihin. Okay. And then before we begin, let me go to the what's new with Autodesk this year. Well, okay, Autodesk has launched a new subscription plans that are based on people, and Autodesk has trying plans based on serial number. So the plans that are retired, like network maintenance, standalone maintenance, and also multi-user subscriptions. Okay, and the new plans, which called Standard, Premium, and Enterprise, are designed for name users. Okay, designed for name users and provide a range of administrative support and reporting capabilities for business. Okay, for every size, and there are many benefits of working with name users, including optimizing your licensing costs by having visibility into your staff usage data. No need to manage your own license servers or track on anonymous serial number again, okay, because some of the old license have serial numbers with untraceable serial numbers. And the other benefits are dedicated access for all employees who really need it. So no more downtime for waiting for licenses. And who are the name user? The name user is the person who has been assigned to a product or service by administrator, right? Also welcome all to HNT Consulting and PWK ZKR. So the agenda for today is involved between two software. First, I'm going to show you how to get the model object from the Infraworks. So we're going to define a model and the styles using Infraworks. We're going to see how the contour look like in Infraworks, and then we're going to specify the coordinate in Infraworks. Welcome SY for this session. Okay, and we're going to specify coordinate in Infraworks and Civil 3D. And next, we're going to import or export the model from Infraworks. Let's see what kind of formats that is supported by Civil 3D. And then we're going to import those data into Civil 3D. So after that, we're going to process the imported data. We're going to process the surface model from the generated data from Infraworks, and then we're going to post-processing a bit, do post-processing in Civil 3D to make the surface look nice and all the contours look nice. Right. Okay, and for this session, I'm going to use two software. Okay, and first I'm going to define the model here and the style, how we're going to look at the contours, how we're going to look at the terrains, and we're going to define the locations. So let's just jump into the Autodesk Infraworks, right? So this is the models created somewhere in Malaysia, to be precise at Putrajaya. Precinct 12. So this is the model generated from Infraworks, and some of the regions I have highlighted of some the area of the modeling today, and I generated the whole area. And today we will focus on the area, the mountainous area here. Okay, and we will see what we will get. Then first, you will see that we can actually see the actual, even though this is the data captured by the satellite supported by Microsoft Bing, right? And the roads are all combined or gathered from the open roads map. And this is how it looks like in InfraWorks with the new user interface, much more simpler than previous. And now we're going to see the area of the models that we're going to use. So this mountainous area, we can see, even in InfraWorks, we can see exactly how we're going to define the contour lines and all that. And to make it clear, I've made my new style. So how are we going to find a new style? So if you go to the InfraWorks on the top right, you will see there is a conceptual view, and you will be able to create a new style. And I already created my styles so that I will be able to see, to have a much clearer views on the contour lines with, major lines and minor lines, with the transparency handle for the surface model. So I don't get any distractions, a lot of distraction from the terrains, and I will see much the contour lines better. And this is the object or the area that I will try to bring this area into Civil 3D and see how it goes. And before we go further into exporting the data, so let's see how we're going to define the style here. So if I go to the style and go to the setting buttons, you will see there is settings that we can do with the colors, rendering, field of views, including the rendering quality. Even if you want to see the wireframe, you are able to see the wireframe. I prefer not to. And then you will see there is a setting to change the terrain view settings, right? Then we can define the views, the contour line views interval. We can set the minor interval and also the major intervals from here, 1 meter and 5 meter, and it's actually by default. So I'll just keep it that way. And we'll try to, you can try to change the contour line display color if you want it to be the other colors so that it can be highlighted throughout the area, so that you can actually go further into this and picking up more of your own favorite colors suitable for the projects. And we can also define the shadows so that and control the thickness of the lines. And I will also be able to show if I zoom in a little bit and change some of the area, and there is the elevation value for each contour lines created. Let's see, there is a 60, 70, 80 meters, 90 meters, and 100. And this is what we can do with InfraWorks by enabling the fonts, the display elevation text. Okay, and we define the font size, right? So that's view settings. And before we go further, you can also specify all the nodes that you see from the blue lines and the black line, the black dots, the black box here is actually sorry, not the corridor. We call it as the parcel. Okay, so this is what we'll see. And let's say you want to create a parcel for the site. I'm looking at the other areas. So let's say that we're going to create parcel for this area. What you need to do is just creating the area for the parcel area based on the line here. Create the line, and you will see. And once you're done, double click to the endpoint. And from this point onwards, you will be able to click on the parcel lines and see if into the properties and look whether you want to display an additional contours, okay, with the minor interval with 1 meter, for instance, not plus meter, it's 1 meter. So you have a better views on the contour lines in InfraWorks. Okay, and this is generated purely by mapping data from satellite and also with the powerful tools in Autodesk InfraWorks. Right. And if you guys have any other questions, you can drop the questions in the chat box. Okay. And then I will show you guys how we're going to export. And before we export, there are a few things. Let's go back to the slides. And there are a few things that you need to look at. First, you have to define. Okay, you have to define the model properties in InfraWorks. And in this model properties, you will get to see the display coordinate settings. For this case, I'm using MRSO's coordinate system. And these settings for display coordinate setting must exactly match the coordinate systems in Civil 3D. So the way how we're going to do that, I'm going to go back to the InfraWorks. Okay. And then if you go to the Manage tab, go to the models, then you will see there is a model properties button. And what you will see next is the display coordinate settings with the model's name. And then I'm going to choose this area of the datum. So let's say I'm going to pick Malaysia. There are many countries here, which is make it international to use, so that whatever sites that you are working with, let's say I'm using the RSO systems in meters, okay, and then you can specify, it will automatically specify the XY values, and this is things that automatically set by InfraWorks, so that when you want to work in Civil 3D, say that before you do anything with Civil 3D, what you have to do is to define the coordinate system by going to the tool space menus, go to settings, and find the drawing name, right click and go to drawing settings. So in this drawing settings, you have to make sure you find the zone categories. In this case, we choose Malaysia, and also the available coordinate systems. So for instance, that we are using the RSO system meters, and we have to make sure these settings matches the coordinate setting in your InfraWorks, so that you will define the locations perfectly. And all the data will turn out automatically with the datum and projection with the description. So I will show how to create additional. That will be in another topic. Okay, I'm going to click OK, and we can start exporting data from InfraWorks by going back to the InfraWorks. And there is options to open up the model, export the data. You have to choose the IMX format, and you will get to see the options to define the area of the models exported. And you can choose polygon, and InfraWorks will let you pick the area so that it can be exported into other software. Civil 3D is one of the destination, and in Civil 3D you have to specify also the selection set, whether you want to specify the terrain only, or you want to make to import along with the roads, planning road or design roads, right? And then let me show you how it's done. And in here we can see if we go to the present and share menu, and go to the share ribbon, click on the export IMX. Right. So I will define the selection area by clicking at the polygon, so that I will be able to pick my own area. This is, for instance, And that's the way to pick the area in InfraWorks, and double click once finished. And then we'll be able to set the target files, locations, and also the target coordinate system. So we're going to change a bit on the name. You may want to define the name, and then we're going to click export. So this will take just seconds, a few seconds to export, and you don't need to worry much because this process, and that totally depends on the how good is your laptop is, how good is your internet speed is, right? So let's jump into the Autodesk Civil 3D. I'm using Autodesk Civil 3D 2020 versions, and if whether you like it or not, you have to use the same version of InfraWorks and Civil 3D. So for instance, if you are using Autodesk Civil 3D 2020, then you have to make sure the InfraWorks version is also installed as 2020 version. So that would make it works properly. And once you able to do this, so what we need to do now is going to InfraWorks menu and find the open model. Even though you have options to import the IMX model and also export it back into InfraWorks, or you can launch the Autodesk InfraWorks straight away from Civil 3D. And then the best way to work is just open up the model by clicking this open InfraWorks model, because you have options to select the model. Okay, let's say I'm selecting this model, and also you'll be able to modify. If let's say your target coordinate system is wrong, you can still get a chance to redefine the coordinate system. And then most important thing, you can refine the selection set. So this is what makes things really interesting, because whatever data that you get from InfraWorks, it can straight away be imported. Whatever things that is mentioned, like terrain, surfaces, existing grounds, or existing transportation grounds. And also you can also import, if you want, to deal with planning roads. We have also the planning roads features here, so that I'm going to untick for now. And also you'll be able to import, if you have created like your design roads, your component roads, you can also bring it into Civil 3D with all the corridors modeled. So you don't have to model up in Civil 3D unless you are changing the sub assembly and the assembly for the roads section. Okay, I'm going to unclick this way so that I'll just bring in the terrain surface, and I'm going to click OK, then click open the model. Again, wait for a few seconds, then it will pop up in the Civil 3D. And this is the data gathered from the Civil InfraWorks. And you can see if I open up the object viewer, so all the contours generated in the grid surfaces. So whether you like it or not, we don't work this way. Even though you are changing the shaded with edges, so this will make things clearer. So you can see all the surface generated in Civil 3D actually built from the TIN. So TIN stands for triangular irregular network. So all the lines will perform a triangulation, and they will match together, connect together to perform a surface model. But the data imported from InfraWorks seems like too greedy. It follows all the grid lines stated, because that is how satellite works. It works based on the grid and longitude and latitude and that things. Okay, and we will see if we can modify it a bit. And what will I do? There are a few things that we can do. Okay, if I go back to the slides. So to generate the contour mapping like this, there are a few settings, few words. We call it as a contour cross-processing, so that we will get the output, because the data that you see here is not as smooth as this, and this is the same drawing, to be honest. And I'll go back to the Civil 3D and see. First thing first, you have to explode the surface. So we won't get any surface model. We don't really want any surface model. We just want the contour line. So just extract the surface. I'm going to run the export button by running the command X and enter. Okay, and make it a few times until we break all the surface. Until you'll be able to click certain single lines, all of the single lines. And you will see every contour lines comes with the vertex, which you can edit later. Even if you want to edit vertex to make it smooth manually, you can control the vertex positions, move it around if you want to. And again, this would take, it will consume a lot of time to process. And that depends on the data. If the data, usually you will get so many integration of the site condition, which the roads, you will see there is watery areas, something like that, and especially on the roads ground surface. And because we explode this into piece of lines, so that is why when we want to look at the object viewer, and you will just see a bunch of lines compared to the unexploded lines like this. So we haven't exploded yet. So just to, I want to show you the difference between exploded and unexploded. So it looks quite okay, but it doesn't really, it's not really satisfying because the line is not really curvy, not really have the exponential curve. So we're going to do some things like editing the contour line to make it smooth, and we're going to generate the surface from this. So what I usually do, I will find the minor contour lines here. I'll find the layers and see if I can select all the lines. I'll go to the select similar and I'll just delete it and maintain the major contour lines, because surface can be generated by having the major contour lines is good enough, but you have to make sure the major contour line is in a good shape, so that whenever it creates the surface, so it will help you to generate a proper surface. And of course, you have to delete all of these things. You have to explode and delete unnecessary lines. So the kind of processing that you are expecting to do, like deleting the points, the unnecessary lines, for instance, you will have things like this. You may want to delete this, okay? And then you will also need to, sometimes it's not necessary, but most of the time you have to add vertex. Right, to click the vertex, you will be able to stretch the vertex. You can add vertex, or you want to remove the vertex. That will be optional. If we want to add vertex, then that will be the idea, things like this. And if you want to add more vertex here, and you want to add more vertex, so this would redefine, okay, before we generate. And the sample output that I will show to you, I will jump into the completed process data. So before we get the right surface, so this will be the process line. So it may not be as smooth as we're expecting, but once we generate the surface from this contour line, we can redefine again the contour line so that it will become smooth. So how are we going to generate the surface? If you go to the tool space bar, and then what we're going to do is we're going to right click at the surface here and create surface. And you have to give your name. For instance, I am giving out a name for existing ground, Precinct 12. Okay, and then we're going to click OK for this. And what you need to do next is to define the data that you want to bring into surfaces model. So we're going to expand the surface command, and then we will see if there is a definition from contours. See, we have the contours definition here, and we'll just right click on these contours and click add. And what we do next is you can give any additional names, redefine the within factors, okay, and define the supplementing factors, and then let's say this one is issue. One. And you will select all the contour lines and hit OK. And you'll definitely get these error messages because you have deleted the minor contour lines, and this is what we'll get. But you don't have to worry too much because you can also clean it back and make sure you don't delete the necessary contour line, or just don't delete, simply delete the the data that is required, unless it is called as unnecessary, all the spiky lines, all that, so you can delete, so that it will help you to get a smooth contour line. So once you create, you get the surface generated from this. You will see there is, if you go back to the object viewer, the contour lines that you generate is purely different from the one that we first imported into Civil 3D. You can see it's much better in terms of the triangulated irregular network lines. All the thin lines comes with a proper connectivity with each other, and this is what we're going to do to have if you want to get the data. And for this reason, it's only applicable if you don't have the survey data. And because I'm showing this not only for the surveyors, not only for the civil designers, road designers, or whatever deals with Civil 3D, I'm also showing this, if you're watching this through Facebook or YouTube, you will see it's applicable actually for architects, for building designers, for ground pipe engineers, so that you will be able to propose to clients all the designs in 3D. Even the survey works have not been done yet. So this will really help a lot, because what happens in the industry is we always waiting for the survey data, and we have to process it well. Even if they give us the right data, then it's good. But if we have to wait few months just to wait for the survey done, so that will kill the time. And it's better for us to start the design using this method, so that you can speed up the process while waiting for the actual survey data. And you can actually, the good side of this is you can actually compare the data that you generated from the satellite mapping and see if the accuracy matched or nearly close to the data captured by the surveyor. If the data captured by the surveyor comes from the total station, or worse is theodolite, or if you get better surveyors using the drones or using like LiDAR, UAV things, kind of things, so that would help you better coordinate the models. And you can always compare the output data from once you go further into the projects, you will get the actual data from from the surveyor. You will start comparing, and then you will see if it works. And for now, everybody knows that data from satellite mapping having the glitch, it has less accuracy compared to the survey. It's a fact. But to start designing, it's a good way for everybody in the construction industry related with docks, related with roads, right? Roads or building or infra, things like drainage, groundwork, and like that. So hopefully it will help you to start designing without waiting for the survey, actual survey data. And to go further into the create a smooth contour line. So in Civil 3D, of course, we have made the surface into this, and we're going to make sure it is going smooth as we want to. And there are two steps that we have to go further into this. Well, the first step is to define the surface style. Okay, if you go to the surface style, you will see you have to enable the contour smoothing, make it through, and then you have able to choose. You will be able to choose the type of the smoothing type that you want. Either you want to add vertices or to add the spline curve. So it's up to you. You can give it a try. If you go for add vertices, then you can create more vertices to to generate the vertex along the contour lines. But if you choose to have the spline curve, then what you need to do is it will help you to redefine the contour lines and automate the vertex position and all that, and help you to perform the smooth based on the spline curve. And I was going to click OK for this. And what you need to do next is to go to the edit surface and go to the smooth surface. And in here, you also got options to generate, to pick the smoothing method, cringing method, natural neighbor interpolations. If you are the engineers dealing with the earthwork or dealing with this civil design, you know better. And you can enable the cringing method if you want to. Okay, linear or selecting points. So let's say I'm going back to natural neighbor, and then I'm going to change the point interpolation output into centroids and select the output region. I'm going to choose in the command lines, I will choose rectangle and pick the area and click OK. And the output will turn us out things like this. Is already turned off all the major lines from the imported data. So this is purely the surface model, and you will get better contour lines compared to first imported data that we had. And when you will see the object viewer again, you will see there is also better thin models. See, it's going smoother than previous, and this is how actually Civil 3D can help you. And trust me, this is a very powerful software for civil engineers or for everybody that deals with site modeling. And from this data, you can bring into other softwares like Recap Pro, or you can bring into Revit or any other software like Acad if you want to. And software like Revit can simply read this model, and people will start designing buildings. You can start designing, if you want to design make a master planning based on this model. So it will be very, very helpful for everybody in the construction industry. Right. Well, that's the thing that I was showing. And all of the software is available with the subscription of AC collections. So there are few software, more than 10 software, I believe. And Infraworks Civil 3D is included in AC collections, and you can simply get both software along with Recap Pro. So why we need Recap Pro? People keep asking why we need Recap Pro even though we're not using it. The data, people from Surveyor is actively now using LiDAR, and they are using like photogrammetry using drones, and also the data captured by working with digital information data from the UAV things. And the data captured, even you can get the data by using phone if you want to scan the building and import all the images into Recap Pro before you going further into Infraworks, and use the same data in Civil 3D as well. And we also need to have the proper planning for the road design. You can use Autodesk vehicle tracking. So in vehicle tracking, what you can do is to simulate the curving, the turning, junction, and you can specify the turning by simulating using the large trucks or MPV, SUV, continental cars, and local cars. So we got that in vehicle tracking as the additional value software for AEC collections included. Right, and if I'm opening up the session for today. If you have any questions, you can simply drop the questions in our chat box here. And sorry, while waiting, let us jump into the Acad system website. So for those who are really new with us, you can visit us at acadsystems.com. And once you visited our homepage, you will see a lot of information related to Autodesk, especially on the latest Autodesk promotions and news. And also you will get to see the latest Autodesk online lessons. As of today, we are having many sessions organized, and we have many future sessions, like we have on the 10th of November, we have concrete construction for beginner in Revit, and also we have product design animation with iLogic using Autodesk Inventor, and how we're going to do the raster design in AutoCAD raster design, how we're going to deal with images, export, when convert those images into drawings. And we got a frame generator, we got the to see, you get to learn for free. Actually, all of these are for free. You can learn how to do 2D AutoCAD drawing to 3D Revit model if you're interested to know the fundamental of Revit, and many more coming into our sessions in the future. So if you have any issues with any things related to Autodesk products or software, you can always go to our help desk. So let's say you go to Acad System New Help Desk, and you will see there is a way that you can continue as guest. Then you'll be able to raise anything. If you have any issues on your software, or you're interested on buying one, or if you have issues on say that you cannot run the software due to errors, licensing errors, and so on. So you can simply put the name, fill in the description, and you can don't forget to enter your email address. And further information on the company, and further description saying that what are the issues that you have, so that our teams, once you submit the ticket with the right category, KL Technical or KL Sales for Penang, we have another branch in Penang as well. If you are located in North, then you can go with our Penang branch and say that find the priority. So once you submit the ticket, then our teams, our support team will immediately come back to you with the response. And you can also watch these sessions again in our Facebook page. Okay, you can see there's a go to our Facebook page, Acad System, Sriam Berhad, and also you can visit our YouTube page. Welcome, Ikram. Even though it's a bit too late for you, but you can always watch again a session from our YouTube page and in our Facebook page as well. So you don't have to worry. It's all recorded and uploaded in our page, YouTube and Facebook page. I'm still waiting for questions. Okay, while waiting for the question, let me run the polls. Checking your background. What is actually your background? If you are either you are architect, civil engineer, you are categorized as others. Okay. Got a few seconds left to answer the votes. Say that none of you are from the architect background, contractor or many, so that's totally fine. And I'm glad to see civil engineers are interested into this platform. So I hope you will be doing this method or implementing this method. And if you do this way, then that's good. And if you feel that you have better solutions or better methods, do let me know. You can drop me an email. You can drop me the comments from our Facebook videos and YouTube channel videos also, and let me know if the better solutions would suit our our methods that has been shown today. so that I can also learn it from you and share with me anything if you want by commenting or email, right? So most of you are civil engineering, having a civil engineering background, so that's good to know. And if you don't have any other questions, so a few other polls for you to know your satisfaction. Are you satisfied with our online lesson today? Hopefully, yes. Will you be able to use what you have learned? If you are having AEC collections and you just knew this method to work with integration with InfraWorks and Civil 3D, so that's good. And if you don't, you can get a new section of AEC to get a full benefit with the powerful tool with InfraWorks and Civil 3D. We will recommend our online lessons to your colleagues and friends. So hopefully you can spread the news, inviting your members, your colleagues, or your bosses and also your managers to this kind of free online lesson. It's all free, no charge. You can learn it as much as you want. We have sessions. Welcome, Karen Yongbi. Karen Yongbi. Unfortunately, this session has ended. You can always watch the session in our recorded video in our Facebook page. You can go to our Facebook, acadsystems.com, and rewatch the session. So thank you for your satisfaction and ability to learn and share with other people. So thank you very much for the answer. And for those who just joined, I'm sorry to see that you a bit late. You're quite late for joining the sessions, but it's okay. You can still watch the sessions in our Facebook page. Okay, rewatch again, and go even better. You can go to our YouTube page to watch all other videos, all other free online lessons uploaded for the previous weeks and months ago. We have all uploaded here, so you don't have to worry. The same thing that you see here is the same thing that is uploaded exactly. So thank you very much for your time. Hopefully to see you guys again in the upcoming free online lessons. Thank you very much. See you again. Bye-bye.